This is the type of stuff we're talking about. I've been kicked out of the all of the Denver Facebook LGBTQ plus groups for being a Republican. I haven't been kicked out of any Republican Facebook groups for being gay. Who are the intolerant ones? Now, yeah, I mean that's what I've noticed over the years myself. I got to be honest. Assuming this is all true and accurate, I mean you could be going into the LGBTQ groups and saying, you bunch of slurs, you should be harmed, and then they would kick you out, right? But then you may be in the right wing groups agreeing with everybody, and then they're certainly not going to kick you out, even if you're gay. So this could be a bit of a spin, you know what I mean? This could be, some spin or whatever. But I and I think it is a little bit of spin in a way. I think he's right in many ways. So I mean, I'm a person that's always been a very left wing person, and those people were very intolerant to me when I had traditional Democrat ideas and things like that, and they're crazy. However, I've recently also seen some right wing people who wouldn't really like this much. But I will say right now, the right wing people that I know have been the more tolerant people, the people that are more willing to kind of talk to you. But I do think it does go both ways, and it is possible that this is a bit overblown, but I don't know the direct circumstances of this. But it has been my experience over the last 10 years or whatever that the group silencing you more has been the left. Although I think now as the right-wing people get a little more power the last couple of years, and they're really building up now, you'll start to see them, blocking people and, casting people away quicker. Like, okay, we don't have time for you. Get out of here. We've identified a moron. And I think that that's what happens on every side, to be honest. And originally it used to always happen on the right and not as much on the left. But now it is all what the left does. They just silence you left and right on the left. It's crazy. They're definitely the more intolerant, silencing group, the Democrats, the liberals right now. We'll see if that changes over the years going forward here, if they go back to being more open-minded and tolerant. But right now, they really, I mean, this is crazy. Who would have thought the left would do stuff like this? I mean, but then again, they're storming Trump Plaza today, or Trump Tower. I don't know. Freedom News TV has this video. I mean, we have another insurrection on our hands, with this video. But this time the insurrection is at Trump Tower in New York City. A pro-Hamas and anti-ICE protesters flooding the Trump Tower. What I don't understand is this. Why are, first of all, why are they not all kicked out of there yet? But also, so a bunch of people that hate gays and that love 9/11, I'm sure these people are all paid people by Soros and extreme far Democrat groups. You don't really see this on the right ever. Like, do we ever really see this? I mean, we saw it on, I think January 6th is like, that's the weird thing about the right is, we saw tons of this over and over again weekly almost on the left side, where they burned gas stations, burned buildings, flooded places like this. But then when the Republicans did it, they went big on January 6th. Like, they all showed up on January 6th. And, some of them were FBI agents and undercovers. Some of them were provocateurs from the Soros stuff, maybe, and left-wing people. Some of them were right-wing crazy people that did stuff too, that went into offices, raided stuff, theft, government defacing, stuff like that. So we definitely saw what the right is eventually capable of if they really want to be. But we constantly see what the left does every single week, and it's kind of ignored. It's very weird. So it's only, I mean, I guess the Capitol is the biggest thing you could get, right? It's like one of the biggest things, aside from storming the White House or something. It's one of the biggest things you get to. But once again, these are all people that support 9/11. These are all people that hate gays. And these are all people apparently that, I guess they don't like Jews either. I guess it's all of those things. And they don't like Trump. So I don't understand supporting or being part of this group of people that hates gays. For all these people to hate gays and love 9/11 and hate Jews so much that they would come together in the Trump Tower, I mean, very bizarre. I don't understand that. But they're there. I don't know what's going to happen to them, if they're going to be kicked out or they're just going to let them continue to scream and yell. They're clearly disrupting the hotel. Can't believe this is all right, but we'll see what happens going forward with that. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but they're launching podcasts everywhere. Michelle Obama launched her podcast recently. And I guess it's not doing well, or they're upset about it. Michelle talks about family secrets, called out for pettiness on a podcast. I don't know if the podcast is doing well. It was put up a day ago. I mean, this is Michelle Obama. It went up a day ago, and it's got 58,000 views, the first episode. I mean, I would have thought it would have 500,000 episodes by now, or views, rather, maybe 1 million. I'll have to check it out. I have not seen it yet. That'd be interesting to kind of go over that and look into it. But it's not. I don't think it's doing as well as people thought. And I think there's a lot of assumption that just anybody can do a podcast. I mean, and if you look at my other channels, like my sports channel, what do I have? 80 million, 100 million views total. Like, I have a small sports channel, but it's given me, a part-time and a full-time job throughout the last 10 years of my life. And I have these side channels like this one where I talk and whatever. And, I think that politically, the left has really screwed itself by pushing so many people away. I mean, they've pushed me away. They pushed Joe Rogan away. They pushed Elon Musk away. They pushed just countless amounts of people away. And I almost feel like if the left would slightly readjust and rearrange, like, we could do this. You know what I'm saying? I could go back to being the left-wing liberal guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could probably launch a really good podcast for the left. You know what I mean? And really launch a big thing and do something huge. But it's hard to do that when, you see the platforms of many people. But maybe you just do that anyway. You just launch it how you are and be who you are and independent, and then see where the wind swings you, and then go that route. But I think right now, politically, the left think that they can just create a podcaster or something. But that's not the case. You got to find someone who's already out there that already knows what they're doing and that's already genuine, and they're really, I think, going in for the, unfortunately, their mistake. They're going into sort of the, hey, let's grab somebody and absorb somebody who's already, out there doing it, or who's already famous that could go do it. And it's the opposite of what I just said, by the way. You want to grab somebody who's already doing it honestly and has a value, not try to put somebody out there who's famous and try to, generate it illegitimately, or it just feels fake is what I'm trying to say. It feels fake, and it feels forced, and it feels ridiculous, and but unfortunately, lots of the podcasters, you lost them because it's not that they're all right-wing people. It's that you are so crazy that they are just seemingly that way to you. That's what's weird. That's what they don't understand. And any of the ones that are on the left are like terroristic or threatening or illogical, and people are watching them for like drama reasons, but they're nuts. It's almost like a lot of the left-wing podcasters that are out there are like everything, the worst of Alex Jones, but the left-wing version of that. So everything that's bad about Alex Jones, but they're the left-wing version of that. But they really don't offer a lot of breaking stories and really good points because they can't be genuine, so nobody really trusts them. The only people that watch them are like 14-year-old troll people. And so that doesn't work either. Like, I could really break down why the left is having such a problem getting its message across to people. And, it starts with people even like Bernie Sanders, who's genuinely usually has a pretty good message, I feel like, and has some good ideas. But when you break down Bernie Sanders, that comes off as illegitimate too, and I'm somebody that wanted to vote for him originally. But the more every year that goes by, the more just I don't believe it. I would love to talk with Bernie Sanders. Boy, would I like to speak with him, to get some answers. And because Bernie Sanders needs to be spoken to, and then needs to break down all the questions that I have for him. And then once he's able to do that and you're able to move on, you can start listening to Bernie Sanders again and maybe even trusting him again. But he really needs to answer several questions that are vitally important, because Bernie was one of the guys that people would listen to, but now they won't listen to him because they don't trust him now, because of how he's sort of been submissive to the deep state and submissive to the oligarchy, which is funny because he always calls other people oligarchies, but he's really part of one, and he doesn't. I don't know if he doesn't know that or if that's what they do. They call other people what they really are. I don't know. But very interesting if we could speak to Bernie Sanders and maybe a couple other people as well. But certainly I still side with, on many left-wing principles, on many democratic principles myself. But, in this atmosphere that we're in, I didn't change, they did, and I'm now siding with other people that maybe they have some opinions that I don't agree with, but they're much more mentally stable and rational people. So I'd rather sit with them than with crazy people, And I think there's crazy people on all sides everywhere. Don't make no mistake about it. Delusional people, crazy people, people who aren't listening to reason, stuff like that. And the more power and affirmed they are, the more delusional and shorter their attention span is for opposition. And that seems to be what happens. But anyway, this is Shame on News. I'm Joe. Hope you guys can leave a comment down below with your opinions. This is kind of a random little off-the-cuff podcast, but I want to say I'm still here, and I'm ready to make more videos for you. If you like, just leave your comments down below. Share this video everywhere if you can. Help me out. I don't know. Help us grow. We just hit 3,000 subs on Shame on News, so this is my 10th channel now that has over 3,000 subs, so that's really cool. And we obviously surpassed over 150 million views across all of them. I'm just really happy to be here. Thank you guys for listening, and thanks for subbing to Shame on News. We'll see you next time. Here's some other videos you might have missed.